Hi there. If this is the first time that you're seeing my face, welcome. My name is Blue, and I am a business coach and astrological advisor for entrepreneurs. And one of the things that often gets left out of the conversation, especially when it comes to both how to create a successful business and how to use astrology specifically to do that, is the power of the midheaven placement. It is so fascinating to me how many people are so well versed in astrology. They have their entire chart memorized. They can tell you so many things about what's in their chart, how they want to use it, etc. But they're not tapping into their midheaven placement. And I am making it my personal mission to not only educate people on what the midheaven is, how to find it in their chart, but specifically how business owners can use it and really tap into not just building out their vocation, but establishing their career as a successful business owner. The midheaven placement, what is it? I actually have a whole podcast episode that dives into like what the midheaven is and the specific ways that I use it in my practice. So you can totally check that out to get more insight. But in a nutshell, the midheaven is the highest point in your chart. It is the part of the chart that is the most visible at the time of our birth. And I absolutely love it because it points to our highest aspiration. A lot of people can point to the north node as the point of like, okay, like what is it that I'm here to do? But don't sleep on the midheaven, because the midheaven is really here to illuminate what is our life's work. It is here to illuminate what our vocation is, and to truly understand the difference between to truly understand what the midheaven is here to do, we have to look at it from a lens of it is pointing to our vocation. It is pointing to our life's work. And it does this in a variety of ways. So there's the midheaven sign, which illuminates, what you're here to do in a way. The sign that rules over your midheaven placement, it can tell you so much about how to direct your energy, the specific way that you're meant to lead. And then there's also other things that can tie into that, such as the degree that the midheaven placement falls into. And then you have the midheaven house, which gives direction to how you're meant to move forward with building that leadership. So, depending on what house system that you use, your midheaven can be anywhere from the 8th house to the 12th house. Personally, I use whole sign houses because I find that to be more accurate, especially when we're focusing on the midheaven placement itself. For most people, it's going to be in the 10th house. I have a 10th house midheaven. You could probably tell. But, I often see it in the 9th house, the 10th house, or the 11th house. And each of the 12 houses rules over a different aspect of our lives. So when we are able to zero in on which house the midheaven placement is in, this gives us really important information as to how you're meant to bring your life's work out into the world. If you have a 10th house midheaven, for example, then your vocation is really deeply tied to the themes of the 10th house. It's tied to public perception, not necessarily career, even though that plays a part in it, and I'll get into that in a minute. But the 10th house is more so like public perception. It's what others know us for. It's building a lifelong reputation, and it's really culminating and cultivating over time that vocation in order to build that reputation and create a body of work and create something that is tangible that will last even when we're no longer here. That is the 10th house. But let's say you have your midheaven in the 11th house. Career may not be so much of what your life's work is and how you execute it in this lifetime. Instead, the midheaven in the 11th house points more to you're here to cultivate relationships, to build a strong community, and to make your dreams a reality by literally sharing that with other people, by connecting with others who value what it is that you value, and to create positive change in that way, to impact on a person to person level based on what is valuable, what is in alignment, and what is for the people versus the ninth or the 10th house, which is more so, our individual desires and bringing that forward. So, as you can see, the house that your midheaven points to, this gives us so much information on what it is that you're here to do and how you're meant to do it. And then we also have the ruling planet of your midheaven sign. So, depending on where that is in your chart as well, that gives even more details for how you can bring the mission that your midheaven has called upon you to life. So let's say your midheaven is in Scorpio. Where is Mars in your house? Because I'm a whole sign traditional astrologer, I use the traditional planets, meaning I don't use the outer planets for rulership. So for Scorpio, Scorpio is traditionally ruled by Mars. Where is Mars in your chart? You have Mars in, say, the first house, right? How are you motivated to use yourself to build your legacy? And then paired with a 10th house midheaven, right? How can you then use those themes to create the reputation of building things over time, right? How can you create the reputation and of creating stability for other people? One thing I do want to mention is that, like I mentioned earlier, your career may not be a vital part of your midheaven. And that goes back to the difference between vocation and career. Your vocation is your life's work. It is the thing that's going to ripple and carry into everything that you do. But your career is only one of many expressions of that. So for some people, again, if you have a 10th house midheaven, right, your career is a part of your vocation. It's part of your life's work. And it is also one facet of it. If you're an artist, you're here to create art. Your vocation is to make art. Your career may be a painter, a sculptor, a portrait maker, but that's only one way that you are able to create art. You can also create art through your physical style, right? Literally how you dress and how you present out into the world. It can be how you decorate your home, gardening, how you cultivate relationships with other people, right? And utilizing your creativity to make art in all these different facets of your world. That is an example of you actually living out your vocation in many different ways, and then your career is only like one pocket of that. Same thing with if you're a writer, you're here to write. You can write short stories, you can write scripts, you can write social media content, you can write emails, you can write novels, you can write so many different things. You can also write grocery lists. That's writing. There are so many different ways that you can express and live out this vocation, and it touches on every single part of your life, but ultimately your career is only one snippet of it. So when you're able to tap into this, so many things begin to unlock for you. And the biggest thing is that there's a release of pressure. You no longer have to have your career be the end all be all of your entire life. Your career now is not the single focus of your life's purpose. You're here to do so many more things. Even as a business owner, you have made the decision that you are here to use your gifts to impact other people. And you are meant to specifically use your gifts to create a business that not only pays your bills, but that you are able to get paid to do what it is that you love. You're literally here to be paid to bring your life's work into existence. That is what you have chosen for your career. But release the pressure that your career defines your vocation. Your career does not define your life's work. Your life work informs what your career is. And so as a business coach and astrological advisor, I'm here to do two things. I'm here to not only help guide you through making sense of all these different things that are in your head, right? The desire that you have to create your own business, the desire you have to use your gifts to be paid to do what it is that you love and what you're here to do, but to also guide you through the process of bringing in your astrology chart in order to do that and to do it a lot faster, a lot easier, and a lot more tangible than you would if you were to do it by yourself or by following traditional cookie cutter business advice. That one size fits all business advice that we have learned time and time again that does not work for everyone. So I'm here to release you from that, to release you from the pressure to just follow what everybody else is doing and to honor the desires that are naturally coming through you so that you can choose a better way, so that you can create your own way and to do it in alignment with who you truly are. So if you are interested in that, if that is lighting you up, if this is deeply speaking to you, share this video out with other folks that need to hear this message. I'm going to be posting a lot more about the Midheaven on business astrology and how to use it to be paid to do what it is that you love. So make sure that you subscribe. And if you're interested in working together, you're just like, no, I want to just skip ahead immediately. I need to get into your world, Blue. Then make sure you check out how we can work together in the description below. I can't wait to hear from you. I'm so excited to have you in my world. And remember that the cosmos are on your side. Bye.